Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK, back at you with another video here, directly on the Thursday Night Showdown site between the Steelers and the Browns. A couple things before I end the video. Again, we're over 2.1 thousand subscribers now. Thank you guys for all the support. Also, if you're new to the channel, I'm doing a weekly giveaway where all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. It's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment, though, per video. It starts with my Monday Night Showdown video that I uploaded at the beginning of the week. We'll go throughout the week, and we'll end in my Monday Night Showdown video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, you end the giveaway that many times. So say if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, you enter the giveaway 10 times, and the winner receives $20 PayPal from myself. With that out of the way, let's jump in the video. So first, let's take a look at the over-under and the spread and some snap counts before we get into the prices. So this game right now is sitting at 41.5 with the Browns here by 2.5. So this is definitely on the lower side of over-unders. If we look at Pittsburgh snap counts here, James Conner's going to be back in this one after missing the last two games. I assume he's going to kind of take his normal workload of, 60 to 70% of the snaps, with Jalen Samuels kind of getting the rest there. As far as wide receivers go, Juju and Deontay Johnson playing, 3/4 of the game, with James Washington playing about 50% of the game. Johnny Holden playing a little bit there, 30%. He's been playing 30% the last few games. And then the tight end situation, it's Vance McDonald basically playing the whole game, with Nick Vannett kind of blocking tight end and playing about half the game. If we look at the Browns here, Nick Chubb still putting at 81% of the snaps with Kareem Hunt back. They ran a lot of two-back sets, though. Kareem Hunt played at 54% of the snaps. So definitely both backs are still viable here. As far as wide receivers go, it's Odell and Jarvis basically playing the whole game. Higgins filled in for the number 3 role, with Callaway being benched that last game. But I think Callaway's going to be back from what the reports that I've read. So my best guess is Callaway kind of steps back into that number 3 role. So we could definitely consider him. If not, we could look to a guy like Rashard Higgins, obviously. The tight end situation, with Harris and Farrell Brown. Ricky Seals-Jones is questionable as well. So they would kind of split the work, and nothing to be super excited about as far as the Browns tight ends. But that's basically it for the snap count. So let's look at the prices here. At the top is James Conner at 10.8. So again, he's missed the last couple games. He's going to come back for this one. There's a chance they definitely could limit him. Maybe it's got like 50-50 workload with him and Jalen Samuels. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get some clarity before lock. But if he's going to get his normal workload of like 70 to 80%, he's definitely viable. Again, he's a back that gets involved a lot in the passing game. Mason Rudolph loves dumping it off to the running back. So that's a positive there for James Conner. Again, the concern is he's coming back from injury, and there's a chance they could limit him. Now, Nick Chubb, people were a bit scared of with Kareem Hunt coming back, but he still played big snaps. They worked both together a good amount. 20 carries. So he's gotten 20 carries the last 4 games. He's still getting involved in the pass game too. So there's not a whole lot of downside even with Kareem Hunt back. I still think both backs are definitely viable. I'll talk about Kareem Hunt in a bit. I really like his price tag, but like I said, I don't think Kareem Hunt being back really hurts Nick Chubb too much there at 10.6. As far as the wide receivers go, Odell at the top here at 9.2. He's just had, not the best season, kind of an off year for sure. The targets are still there, though, 11, 6, 7, 12. I think a breakout game for Odell is coming soon. He has, not had a TD in a long time. He's had 1 touchdown all year. So I think there is some positive touchdown regression coming soon for him. Maybe this is the night. So you're getting Odell at a pretty cheap price point right now. So I definitely don't mind it. Again, I think a breakout game from him is coming soon. Then we get quarterback Baker Mayfield. He's also had a down year. The people thought he was gonna have a really good year, but just not so good so far. But again, at 9K, quarterbacks have the highest floor on this slate, so they are like the safest plays. So if you're like a cash game player, you can definitely try to get both quarterbacks in. The downside for playing both quarterbacks is it's a lower over/under, and both teams have good running backs. So again, that does kind of limit the upside here of the quarterbacks, but you can play both if you really want to. Baker, if I'm going to pick between the two, it's close. I think I would lean towards Baker Mayfield, but again, it is really close. I don't think either quarterback has huge upside, but I think I would lean towards Baker just because I kind of like that Baker to Odell stack. So, like I said, both quarterbacks definitely viable. We'll talk about Mason Rudolph in a sec. Jalen Samuels at 8.8. I don't think I want to go there unless they're going to limit James Conner. If they said they're going to limit James Conner to like 50% of the snaps, then you can consider Jalen Samuels. But if Connor's going to get his normal workload, I think Samuels kind of picks up the rest, maybe like 25 to 30%. So, and at this price point, it would probably be a pass. A guy like Juju is interesting as well as a buy low candidate. You guys know by now if you watch my videos for a lot, I like buying low on guys. And this is a pretty cheap price tag for Juju. He's had also kind of a down year, but we know the upside's there, right? The touchdown regression, he's only had 3 touchdowns. Definitely wouldn't hate pairing Juju with Mason Rudolph. The downside is again both teams have pretty solid defenses. Both teams have pretty good running backs, so that is concerned. But Juju, you could definitely pair him with a guy like Mason Rudolph, who's at 8.4. He hasn't really flashed huge upside recently. He likes kind of dumping it down to the running backs. So that's why it's a plus to guys like James Conner and Samuels. But I think he's viable. Again, the quarterbacks have the highest floors on these slates, so you could definitely play both. Rudolph at 8.4K, Baker at 9K. I think I would slightly prefer Baker if I'm picking between the two. I think he has a bit more upside, but Let's see. Jarvis at 8K is a guy that seems also really safe. He's going to play basically the whole game. 10, 13, and 10 targets the last 3 games. So, if you can't get to Odell, you can definitely go to a guy like Jarvis. He seems really, really safe. I think the upside is a bit higher on Odell, but Jarvis is just a guy that's going to play the whole game, and the targets have been there recently. At 8K, he's definitely underpriced. So, you could definitely, if you can't get to Odell, I think Jarvis is really safe there at 8K. A guy like Deontay Johnson here at 6.4K is turning into that number 2 receiver for Pittsburgh. He's played on some decent snaps too, about 75% of the snaps. And again, kind of the same situation here with Juju. If you can't get to him, don't mind Deontay Johnson. The targets have been a bit all over the place with 2, 7, 2, and 6. So he's a bit riskier than a guy like Jarvis. But I still think he is playable in the mid range. As far as Kareem Hunt goes, he's probably one of my favorite plays here at 5.8K. Steelers coach. Never mind. That was the Steelers coach. But either way, they used the 2 running backs a lot here, and I think they're going to continue to do it. Kareem Hunt looked really good. They utilize him a lot in the pass game. They utilize him in the slot, playing some fullback. So they're having him out in the field a lot. You can definitely play both Browns running backs if you want to. In that last game, he had 7 catches on 9 targets for 44 yards, also ran the ball 4 times. So they're using him a lot as a receiver. That's definitely some upside. And at 5.8K, I think he's a bit underpriced. So I do like Kareem Hunt a good amount there. James Washington as the number 3 guy. Had a big game that last time out. We know the connection is there with Mason Rudolph. He played on 50% of the snaps. I think we kind of get the same again here. He's the number 3 receiver. So he's viable. And again, he does have that connection with Mason Rudolph. Vance McDonald is okay at 5.4K. He's playing big snaps, basically playing the whole game. 7 targets in back-to-back games. Not a guy that I think has huge upside, but I think he's fair in the mid-range if you need a cheaper guy. Both defenses, so I'm definitely considering both here in a low over-under game. Again, over-under is currently sitting at 41.5. So this is where I would consider some defenses. I think if you're going to make me pick, I would slightly lean towards the Browns. I always lean towards the home defense. But both are definitely in play in a game that should be lower scoring, should be a grinded-out game. Pittsburgh's defense has been great. If you want to go there, you can. I think they're going to be a lot higher owned. I think I would slightly prefer the Browns defense still. Again, that's probably contrarian. I think, again, a lot of people will go the Steelers. But I think I'm slightly going to prefer the Browns there. Now, Rashard Higgins, I think I would only consider him if Callaway misses. So Antonio Callaway, the Browns coach said the bench was a one-game thing. So if that's true, he's probably going to take over again as the number 3 guy. And in the last game, played 48% of snaps. The game before, played 78%. So he would definitely be probably my favorite value play of the day if he's going to be active and be that number 3 guy. So that will be something we have to monitor. If he misses, then we could look to a guy like Rashard Higgins at 4.4K. His, would be probably playing like 50% of snaps, so he'd be a viable option. Demetrius Harris doesn't have huge upside. Not the best pass-catching tight end. They kind of rotate between 3 tight ends, so not super excited about him. The kickers are always viable on the showdown slates. I think you definitely play one in a GPP lineup. Again, Ricky Seals-Jones, questionable if he could, get back in the mix if he plays. But Cleveland kind of likes using 3 tight ends, so no one that's super exciting for me. Edmonds, we don't want to go there with James Conner back. Again, Callaway, if he plays, I'd really like him there at 2.8K. And then like below that, there's really like no other options. Like this slate is tricky because there's like no punt plays. Normally we have like one or two of those guys in like the 200 range or something, like a really, really cheap guy. There's just no one that's even viable. Nick Vanette's a blocking tight end. I just don't even think I would even take a dart throw there. There's really like no one else you even can consider. So this slate is going to be pretty interesting because there's not a whole lot of options. I definitely think first place is going to split. There's going to be a lot of people in first place unless you make a really, really unique lineup. Again, if you're kind of going for first in that big GPP tournament, you're going to have to do something really unique. Maybe leave like $3,000 or $4,000 on the table. But let's talk about captains. So captains, I think the safer options are definitely the running backs here. Both teams like utilizing the running backs a lot. So obviously James Conner and Nick Chubb seem really safe. Also Kareem Hunt, I think, is very viable there at a discounted price as well. As far as a little bit riskier guys with upside, again, I like Odell. I think the breakout game's coming from him soon. Don't mind buying low in Juju either. Jarvis seems really safe. As far as playing the quarterbacks in the captain spot, I don't think I would go there on this slate. Again, both teams really like using the running backs. I don't think both quarterbacks have huge upside. That doesn't mean you just should eliminate both quarterbacks. They're definitely playable in your lineup. I just don't think I would go there in the captain spot. Normally, if I'm going to consider quarterback in the captain spot, I want him to have a bit of rushing upside. Baker and Mason Rudolph, not so much. So that's kind of my thoughts with the captain spot. As far as the cheap guys, I would take a shot on like a guy like Callaway if he's available. Because then if you plug Callaway into your captain spot, again, you can basically get whoever else you want there, 9.1K. Yeah, I think you literally get whoever else you want in your lineup. So that's always an option too. Or you could just play it safe with one of these two backs with Conner and Chubb. Again, both teams really like using their backs. So I think both those running backs seem pretty safe. But I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So if you haven't enjoyed the content, would really appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe. Again, if you want to get entered in the giveaway, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. It's one in the giveaway. I'll be back for another video to break down the Week 11 main slate. You'll probably have that up Friday or Saturday. Also, if you're interested in NBA, I already uploaded my breakdown of the 5-game slate for Thursday slate tomorrow. So you can go check that out if you'd like. But thanks again for coming and checking the video, guys. I really appreciate it. I will see you later.